Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. So for you guys today, I'm going to be doing a different type of video than what I normally do. Rather than doing like a tutorial or a full face or reviewing a product, I'm going to be doing a ranking of an eyeshadow brand or an eyeshadow like some people did, ranking all my Anastasia palettes. I'm pretty sure somebody did ranking all my ColourPop, all that kind of thing. So for me, I'm going to be ranking all of my KKW beauty eyeshadow palettes. As a disclaimer, I'm not doing this to brag. I'm not doing it to like show off or anything, if that's what people are going to think. I'm not. I have a lot of her palettes because I enjoy her formula. With that being said, I also do not have all of her palettes. Like, it's not a complete collection. I'm not a super completionist type of person. I don't have the Winnie Harlow palette. I don't have any of like her smaller 6-pan ones. And I do not have the Classic Blossom or the Matte Smoke palette that she did for her 90s collection. I don't have any of those ones. So yeah, with that being said, if you guys enjoy this type of video, please do not forget to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. I would very much greatly appreciate it. And yeah, with that being said, let's get started. Okay, so my least favorite palette out of my collection that I have from KKW is actually one of her Celestial Skies palettes. It's the Sierra Sunset palette, and the reason I dislike this one, or it's my least favorite, is because it's all shimmers. These 4 shades right here, these are all like true shimmers, like metallics, and then this one is a matte with like glitter in it. So it's not really a palette that I would go for too often, just because 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna do a matte color in the crease. I'm gonna do a matte color on, like today, I did a matte color on the crease, I did a matte color on the outer corner, and then I did a shimmer almost all the way across my lid and kind of going into my crease. But I always start out with matte colors. So a palette that has all shimmer shades is not for me. If I had realized it, I probably wouldn't have bought it. Just because this is like my least used palette. The next palette that also, the other reason why, like, it's kind of towards the bottom is just because there's only 5 shades. Like, this is a very concise palette, which isn't a bad thing, but if it was a larger palette, it would have more mattes, and if it had more mattes, it'd be higher up. Anyway, moving on. The next palette from her collection that is, like, I don't dislike this palette, it's just not as high up as... This is the Sierra Sunset palette, was really the only one I dislike on any sort of level. The rest of them, it's all just a matter of how often I use them and what kind of look I can get out of them. So the next one I have is called Night Sky. It's another one of her Celestial Skies thing. And I like this one better because this light color is a matte, and then this very dark color is a matte, and then you have 3 shimmer shades. However, I kind of wish that instead of doing, like, a super light, a medium light, and a light or a darker shimmer, she had maybe gotten rid of, like, this really light shimmer and put in, like, a medium toned matte. Because really, you can't do too much with this. Yes, there's, like, a color for your crease, and then a color for your outer corner, and then 3 lid options, which is why I like this one more than this one. But also, just the color story kind of throws me off because it's very, like, dark here, and then it's very light here, which I kind of get because it's supposed to be like the night sky. I understand that. It's just cohesively, the only look you're going to be able to get with this is either a very light smoky eye or a very deep dark smoky eye. Like, there's not really any, I just want to wear, like, pretty colors kind of thing. But the formula on this is really nice. I like the packaging. If you guys travel a lot, I mean, I don't really travel except to, like, go on my staycations, in which case I would throw probably one of these size palettes in just because it is so concise. But mainly because it's like the very, very light and the very, very dark, it's not my favorite out of all three of those palettes. So moving on to the number 6 spot, because I'm doing a bad job of this, aren't I? Sierra Sunset was in number 8. This one was Night Sky was in number 7. So moving on to number 6 is the last of the Celestial Skies palette. This one is Bronze Heaven. Out of the 3, this one is my favorite. Okay? Because, look it. We have a medium toned neutral shade for your crease. We have a darker one for the outer corner and smoking things out. And then we have a gold or a bronzy color. We have a lighter shimmer shade and then like another medium toned shimmer shade. This is my favorite palette out of all 3 of those. I use this one quite a bit. Like, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it, but like especially on this shade, I've gone in on it a lot. So I do really, really enjoy this. Again, if this was in a bigger palette, like if this was just extended into like one of her 10 pans, I would love it. So it would be much, much higher up. But, yeah, oosh, don't fall. No falling. Sorry, I just kicked my tripod. But yeah, this is my favorite one out of the 3. So this one is in number 6. Let us move on. So, okay. I think in number 5 is the Cocoa Matte one. I have used this one quite a bit. Like, I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see it or not, but I have used it quite a bit. I love the color story of this palette. And when I bought it, I was thinking, you know, I thought I didn't like glitter and shimmer and everything. I thought I really enjoyed mattes. I use this palette really if I don't know what else to put in my crease, because it is all mattes and they're all warm toned mattes, which is definitely like my go-to color story. Oops. But because there's not like a warm toned shimmer in here, I really don't go for it as often out of like her 10 pans as often as I do the other ones. So it's not a bad palette. I do enjoy it. I do use it. It's just not as often used as the other ones that we're going to go over today. Okay, that one. Sorry, I had these in order. So, probably my 4th palette, so like dead center even, it's not my least favorite, it's not my favorite, it's like in the middle, is the KKW and Mario collab, the first one. The reason this one is like number 4 is mainly because I love most of the colors in here. I really, really do. Like, this is all very, like, my type of vibe. The only reason it's number 4 is because I do not like the blue in here. Like, I'll never go for that. I have green eyes. I don't think blue looks good on me. And then, like, I used this palette today. So I do use this palette, like, in this white shade. But when I was looking at it today, I was like, why, if this is such, like, a nice warm-toned palette, why would they put 2 random colors in here? Like, because to me, this matte white, what are you going to use a matte white for? You can't use it for anything. It's not going to show up anywhere that you put it, really. And then, like, this bright blue shade. But, anyway, for, like I said, this is the palette I used today. So, I used this shade right here in my crease. I used this one on my outer corner. And then I used this shimmer shade for my lid. So I do use this palette quite frequently. It's just not because of those 2 colors. It's really not my go-to thing. I reach for it more than I do the Cocoa Matte and these 3. But I don't reach for it super often because there's some colors in here I know I'll never use. And that just puts me off using it a little bit. So there's that one. What time am I at? my third one, so we're in like the top 3 now. My third favorite palette is the KKW Classic palette. This is it's my vibe. It's all warm tone neutrals. There's none of them in here that are like really, really too light for me or really, really too dark. If I don't know what else to go for, but I don't want to wear like my top 2 palettes, I will go for this one, or sometimes I will just reach in here for like the shimmers. I really, really like this color right here, and then this shimmer right here. Those are like my 2 favorite colors out of the whole palette. It's a nice cohesive color story, and yeah, it works for me. Kim's whole brand it works for me. So like we're going off on a tangent really quick. If you go on her KKW Beauty Instagram page, and anytime like they reshoot or re-promote like an older product, or they're saying like they're having a new product launch through her KKW Beauty line, everybody's always complaining about how she never does anything original, how it's always the same palette over and over and over and over again. None of these palettes are the same. None of them. The thing that goes really, like, the thing that I like about Kim's brand is that they're all different. Some of them are similar, but they're all different, and they play really well together. So, like, okay, if we take her Celestial Skies palettes, that would make a glorious 15-pan eyeshadow palette. You know, they play really well together. You can reach from one of her palettes into another and still have a cohesive look, because she does stay in like the neutral area. Kim herself, if you look at her, she doesn't wear a lot of bright colors. She doesn't do crazy looks. She does natural, soft, smoky glam. That's kind of her whole aesthetic. It's what I really like about her makeup line, is the fact that, like, for me, I know I could purchase pretty much any of her palettes and I will get use out of it, because they are all my color story. They all vibe with me. They're all neutrals and warm toned, except for that gray palette. That gray palette, I don't know what that was, but it's just, it's my thing, you know. So sorry for the tangent. Let's get back to like the top 2. Okay, so my number 2 palette is the second KKW and Mario collab. This one is the Artist and the Muse. This one, I love this, except again, they put like a darker pop of blue in there compared to like the first one. But other than that, I enjoy this palette so much. I like to put Don't Move in my crease, and then I'm inspired on my outer corner. So this one in my crease, this one in my outer corner, and I will reach for like one of the 4 shimmer shades in here that aren't the blue one. So like Mario's Muse, NYC to LA, I Need More Light, Beauty Campaign. So like, let me swatch some for you. So do you see? They're so pretty, and they're really pigmented, but not overly pigmented, so you can build them up if you need to, but they're also just there that if you blend it out enough, you'll get the look that you want. So I really enjoy this color story. I really enjoy like the packaging on it. I enjoy the formula. It's really, really pretty. It's kind of just like that pop of blue again that throws me off, because I instead of that pop of blue, I think I would rather have like a deeper shade in there, but that's what I have the matte palette for. So I really do. This is like my number 2 palette, and my number 1 palette. So my favorite KKW Beauty palette is the KKW Beauty So Fire palette. I love this palette so much. So much. You guys don't know, but I wore this palette, I think, every day for probably 3 weeks. It was the only palette I went for. They're just exceedingly warm tone neutrals. But you have, like, a really dark color right here. You have, like, the lighter tones to put in your crease. You have the medium shades. And then you have the shimmers that just do it. They just go, and they're beautiful and stunning. Oh my gosh. I love them. This is like, here's the truth. This is not only like my favorite KKW Beauty palette, this is probably my favorite palette in my entire collection, aside from the Greek Goddess palette from Lunar Beauty, because if I don't know what eyeshadow to put on, I will go for this palette because I know that the color story is something that I like. I know that the formula is good. Here's that shimmer shade. I know that it'll work for me, that I can get it done. I get so many compliments every time I wear this eyeshadow because people like the bronzy, the gold, and the reddish orangey tones in here. It's very, very nice. It's a good summer palette if you want like a warmer tone summer without it being like bright. I think it's a better fall palette because it's like so orange, and fall's like oranges and browns and muted reds. It's so good. It's my favorite palette. It is my favorite palette. I love it so much. If I had to recommend any palette to anybody, it would be this one, and then the Artist and the Muse one, if you can still get it, because I'm pretty sure this was limited edition. But I love this palette so much. But yeah. So, with that being said, you guys, that was me ranking all of my KKW Beauty palettes from least favorite to my favorite. I have 8. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please do not forget to subscribe and give it a thumbs up. I am trying to get to 200 subscribers, because when I get to 200 subscribers, I will be doing a giveaway of some makeup and skincare and stuff. And so, yeah, with that being said, don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye.